Okay, I requested to show how this goes with replacing the cheap handle on the Harbor Freight 1 1/4 pound hatchet. I tried to use this the other day and hit a log and the handle flexed like it was rubber. It's because the fiberglass, I've already chipped out some of the studio epoxy they use. This is the size of the fiberglass that's in it. It only goes down to here, at the beginning of the actual handle part. As you can see, when you hit, and it flexed and actually left a mark. What we're going to do is finish taking out all this epoxy, take the handle off, replace it with a little bit of overkill, but I got this at a decent price at a pawn shop. So I will not bore you with all the details. I'm going to use a Dremel tool and a router bit to clean out the epoxy, and we'll come back later. This will probably be several videos. This is the first time I'm doing this type, and actually speaking on a video. Most people I don't think likes my voice. I'm not really fond of it on digital devices, but we will be back in a minute. Okay, so here we are back. About halfway through. I'm going to light this up with a flashlight because you really can't. The lighting in here is better than when I first set up the shop, but it's still not that great. You can see about halfway down. Gave it a few whacks of my homemade HDPE hammer here. It's soda cap bottles melted into a soda can and then a spindle off of an old chair cut and fitted for it, and it works pretty good, but the attachment's still pretty tight, so we're going to cut some more and we'll be back again. By the way, this is the stuff that comes out of that. It looks like ashes, actually. Stinks too, so I'd probably recommend a respirator. Back in a minute. Okay, I switched over to a drill bit, went down quite a bit further. Actually, I don't know if you can see the holes in there. They go all the way down to the yellow part of the handle where the rubber is, and actually into it in a few spots. But looks like it's thin enough now that I might be able to take it out, whack it on a log, and pop that head off. I tried the mallet again, and it didn't quite get it. So we are going to take this outside. I've got a log in the backyard, and I'm going to give it a good whack and see what happens. Back in a minute. Okay, so we're back. I went out, whacked the log a few times, actually quite a few times. Didn't have any success, so I came back, and as you can see, it is off now. What you didn't get to see is that a different tool was required to remove the head, which was that, and a large punch, which I already put back in the box. The end of this thing, the rubber part, is actually serrated and epoxied in also. And then with the fiberglass plug being in it, that made it quite thoroughly attached to the head. So if anybody has any concerns about these heads flying off, if the rest of them are built like this one, that's not going to happen. As you can see, I only had ½ inch of material left in there, and I beat the stuffing out of that log, and you can see where I damaged the finish on the outside, putting it in the vise and taking the punch and knocking the last little piece out. So that was quite the encounter there. Anyways, next thing's coming up is go ahead and put the head on this item. So I go get a knife and take all this tape off, and we'll put it back together. See you in a minute. Okay, here we are again. Did a few little things off camera. Took some files and stuff, cleaned out the rest of the epoxy. Took a file and filed this down a little bit so that the head will slip on a little bit better. Got my Carpenter's Wood Glue Max here. Put a little bit on this. Glues the cap shut pretty well too. Okay. Got a piece of wood so I don't damage the floor in here. Put a little bead of this stuff on. And then later when I want to take the head off at some point in the future, I'll cuss the idiot who put all that glue on there. Yeah. Anyways, so we can slip this in here and see what we can do. Oh, that's loud. Let me come back after I beat this on, because I don't think anybody wants to hear that. Okay, just a quick pop in here. Got the head on, and actually drove the wedge in. I'm going to take and cut that off real quick, and then we'll put in the metal wedges perpendicular to that to lock it in good and tight. Looks a little funny. The head's really small compared to the handle, but you know, you put some good swing into it. Anyways, this is kind of just to see what I could do with the cheapest possible to fix that Harbor Freight head. So I'll get this cut up, the wedges put in, be back in a minute to show you what the final project looks like. Put the stuff away here before the cat steps on it. Who's playing behind me at the moment. Back in a minute. Alright, out there YouTube land. Well, we finished. Made a small mess. Got rid of that plastic handle. And also destroyed the cover for the blade. I dropped it and it split that little sucker right open. Yeah, well, make a leather fork cover it anyways. Leather cover for it. How about that? That sounds like better English. I realized after I put the head on, got it started, that I had the little protector right there to go on. And, well, that's definitely not going to fit now. That won't work. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take some parachute cord, I believe. I might try that and wrap around here. So in case I do miss and it hits the wood, it'll still be protected. Anyways, there it is. Replace the rubber and tiny fiberglass handle with a good old piece of American hickory there. Y'all have a great day. Stay safe. And I'm going camping. You do the same. Later.